Hi guys, welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast, studio sponsored by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. I remembered.
You bet. You've been practicing.
I think I could see your eyes looking. You're like, you better say EV.
You gotta get it.
Hi Janet. Hi Dave. Thanks for joining us tonight. Super excited. Finally back in the studio. I know it seems like
you were here 2 weeks ago. What are you talking about?
I know it just feels like it's been so dang long since we've recorded again. But
it's been long since we had moonshine. There you go.
Yeah. Jesper. When was that? Last year?
Yeah. I was in Pigeon Forge last year. Yeah.
And he brought that home, and then we kind of didn't do anything from the studio for a long time, and he brought it last time. I just wasn't feeling it, but I was like, tonight we drink moonshine. Cheers. If you have drinks, drink them, only if you're not driving.
Yeah, don't drink and drive.
So what's going on?
Not a whole lot. A whole lot. Just, normal stuff. Oh, I'm celebrating, though, that I am back on Uber.
Yes, finally, Jesper is back on Uber. They cleared his background check, so that's great.
I found out, though, that, and maybe this is, everybody else knows it but me, but they didn't even initiate my recheck of the background check until they had
your docs,
a valid driver's license in there.
That makes sense. They don't want to spend the money on the background.
And the registration as well.
Yeah.
The proof of registration, yep, so.
That makes sense. Hi, Chris from South Haven. Nice. And then Cora Aaron with poop emojis. Thank you. If you guys can do me a favor and share this, if you could retweet it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, any groups that you might be a part of, we would really appreciate it. And also YouTube, hit the subscribe bell and notification bell and whatever the hell bell it is, and like the video. We would really appreciate it.
Wait. There's a whatever the hell bell?
I don't know. There's so much shit that you have to do.
They should have a whatever the hell bell.
Yeah, whatever the hell. This is whatever the hell. You also can go to gigeconomy-podcast.com or even the link tree in the description. That will get you everything you need. Patreon, merch, all that fun stuff.
Please buy him a t-shirt.
Yeah, let's look at the merch page a little bit. I can kind of do a little bit of showing you guys what we have. I thought I took this one off here. This guy in the upper left, the first one. It's a black t-shirt with a black logo. I'm not sure what's happening there.
I think it's pretty cool. I think
what?
Nice you left it on there, Jason. Good job.
it's you can just have the word Pink Podcast on it, basically. But no, you got some classic t-shirts, some graphic tees. What else you got? You got some pullover hoodies.
Yep, sweatshirts for when winter comes.
Yeah, well, let's not talk about winter. They even have women's shirts, fitted V-neck, a deep V.
Mm-hmm.
You want a deep V. A laptop, a tapestry. You can get a tapestry. Oh my gosh. You can get a metal print, a framed art print for $80.
Get curtains.
Shower curtain. Oh, you can get a comforter.
There you go.
We can Jesper and I can take our picture and we'll put it on a comforter for you.
There's a scary thought.
Oh my gosh.
And our face is gonna be the last one you see before you fall asleep every night.
That's gross. You can get an apron. So there's all kinds of cool stuff that you can get. Check it out. The link is in the description. And then, of course, just want to talk about the picnic real quick. That's coming up September 11th. Giveaways, food, maybe a petting zoo. Probably not a petting zoo.
Unless you want to pet. Get that, though. I mean, just trying to get approval.
Yeah,
to get
just
that
all
the city.
The red tape. What about if we pet you? You gonna think? You're gonna think about it.
There's some opportunity here.
Yeah, we can charge $1 a pet. What's up, Steve from Rideshare Rodeo?
Don't think we're gonna make any money that way.
No, I don't think we are either. So yeah, I just want to mention our Patriot members: Keith from Georgia, Janet from New Zealand, Larry from Bowling Green, Samson from Grand Rapids, Steve from Colorado from Rideshare Rodeo, and then Leo from Detroit. He actually messaged me. He's like, "Hey, I haven't seen anything on Patreon," and I went in there. Apparently, his card was he had to renew his card, so he renewed back up, so we can now mention him back on the show.
Thank you so much, Leo. Yeah. Awesome. Hey, and by the way, guys, know that if you are Patreon members, you get some of the cool content first. And we just talked to a gentleman tonight. I'm not going to mention anything, but it was a really cool special episode and some cool stuff coming down the pipe, guys.
Yeah. We try to reach out to people that are in the community, in the gig community that might be having a new app or just new features for just making your job as a gig economist more simple. So we got 2 coming up. I will say on Patreon members, I am going to miss the April deadline, but I'll have your April show up in the first week of May. So you actually get 2 shows in May. So that's pretty cool. But that will make up for April. So.
Oh, and then of course, as new Patreon members, you'll get merch after 3 or 4 weeks, a month, something like that. I forget how long it is.
I think it's 2 or 3. I don't know.
2 or 3 months.
But it's been a while since we got a Patreon member.
Oh, so. Please, we need a new member.
And again, Steve from Rideshare Rodeo. I've been on the last 2 shows. One has already been released. Him and I recorded Monday night. That's going out, I think, May 6th. Next week, Tuesday, maybe? No, that wouldn't be May 6th. I don't know. Sometime next week. It's his 1-year anniversary. We had a good conversation just about vaccines and pandemic and stimulus.
Cool.
And yeah, it was a good week. I think we talked for like an hour. So
who want to listen to you guys for an hour?
I know, right? I hope he does some heavy editing on that. But yeah, you can find Steve on Rideshare Rodeo and any platform that you download our podcast on. Just look up Rideshare Rodeo. We're a lot alike with our content, but he gets down and dirty with some more deeper things where we just kind of graze the surface on it, but it works out for both of us. So check his podcast out. I think you really like it. I think he's on, this would be episode 52 for him. He goes once a week. So He does a good job once a week. And then, of course, check out our Telegram group. We would love to have a new member in there. If you look at the description, you can join the group. We got drivers from North Carolina. Where's Seth from? Missouri? St. Louis, Missouri?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sorry to say
I think he's from Missouri. I think we have a few from Florida. And then most of them are from Michigan.
LA, a couple from LA.
There is? In our group?
I believe so, yes.
Jesper's making shit up.
And then Newfoundland, of course.
Oh, I think you're making shit up, but that's okay.
I don't think I am. Prove me wrong, guys. Come on, prove me wrong.
Nice. Yeah, so I think that's it. Let's get going. First sponsor of the night, Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. You can call them at 532-6600. They are the studio sponsor of the show. And my headphones just went out.
Huh. We will.
You know what's funny is they've gone out before, but then they stopped doing it for like 2 weeks, and I was like, I don't need to swap the cable out. I think I need to swap the cable out.
Buy a new cable.
Yeah, they're like $8. Big deal.
You should have a couple in spare.
I think I do somewhere. But anyway, sorry about that. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, 532-6600. You can schedule online. Oil changes, inspections. They'll do inspections for you. All that stuff. I'm going to have to get another inspection because mine lapsed. So, but yeah, great Google reviews. They're the best in the business. Now, they're not the cheapest. I'm going to let you know right up front, but they're going to fix it right the first time. You can schedule online. They basically tell you everything that's wrong with your car, and you can approve or decline it right on the web, thing.
On your phone or the web
it's
or
super
whatever.
easy.
Yep.
So, 532-6600, Irvines.com, Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. We thank you very much. I don't know Janet's comment. Don't forget the down unders.
I know, Newfoundland. I said that, Janet.
I don't know. But, all right, first up. Let me get my bearings here. Okay.
Newfoundland. That's not what it's called.
What?
I'm trying to figure out what it's. No
what?
way.
What do you?
I said the name wrong. So.
What name?
Where Janet's coming from.
It's New Zealand.
Thank you. Yeah. keep saying something else.
Okay.
It's your time.
Obviously, you can't read this very well, but this was on Twitter. It's Uber Eats, says hashtag each local. Tell us your area code and we'll tell you what to order right now. Jonathan puts his area code on there. The next response from Uber support: we'd like to look into this to you. Please send us a DM with the phone number associated with the Uber account. We can assist you further. Jonathan's like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, someone else put a number on there. They're like, hi, blah, blah, blah. How can we assist? They're like, you started this tweet thing. You wanted us to tell you what to order. And it's just like, this is typical Uber Eats kind of idiocy. So I thought that was kind of funny.
I actually thought it was a spam, like a scam or something, but yeah.
But I appreciate them trying to like be hip and say, we'll tell you what to order. But then your automated message comes up and says, send us your account. And you're like, you freaking idiots.
Actually, post your password right here on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
So this one, is this a Reddit thing or whatever?
Pete shared this. I'm not sure where it's from, but it's gonna bring out some
Facebook
conversation.
Posts like this is why America is still trapped in this capitalistic hellscape. You got underpaid for your hard work, but even though both the corporation and the other civilian paid you the same amount of money, you are exclusively mad at the civilian for underpaying you. Shipped cut how much we make when they started their new system last year. It's been unfair and they still haven't fixed it. We shouldn't have to rely on tips to get by. Stop blaming the people who actually tip and blame the company that thinks the work you put in today is worth less than it was a year ago.
So this brings up a couple of
well, we talked about the Shipt issue last week, right? Last time we talked, like there were some issues with how the Shipt is doing the tipping right now. Maybe not next time. We've talked about that before, so it definitely is broken. We know that.
Well, I don't think it's broken. They just changed the way they pay. It's not broken. It's a new. Right. It's a new. Thanks, Andrew. It's a new system of pay. It's nothing. We didn't talk about anything that was broken, did we?
We did. I thought somebody, was it Sam or somebody also brought up that something in the new system was broken. He's referring to the fact that the new system is still.
No, he's talking about the new payout system. This is not anything that's broken. This is the new payout. That's actually not anything to do with.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically the discussion point is that we're blaming the customer and not the company that's paying us less, where they did a year ago, right?
Right.
But I kind of disagree a little bit, and maybe I'm just taking a different side. Like, it's a tipping service, so we do expect to get paid on tips. Now, he didn't quite come out and say it, but are you basically saying that you want to be a regular worker and have the company pay you more money? Or I don't know. I guess I don't quite know.
It could be the same discussion back, when every time Uber changes the rate
right
there. I mean, that whole thing with, the driver is paying or the rider is paying the same, but the driver keeps getting less and less and less.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just get kind of frustrated with people that say.
I mean, it comes back to the fact that they don't have to drive. They don't have to do the work, right? They can do anything else they want. And they agree to it before the fare, and before the gig, all that stuff.
Yeah, even if, like, in regards to Shipt, they change their way they pay.
Right.
So you've still taken them, so you can go find somewhere else. I totally get it. But I do want to focus on the customer because I do think customers should tip. I think you're doing a service for them. It's a service-based industry.
Sure.
You not tipping is crap. I think you have an opportunity, or I think you should be frustrated with a customer that doesn't tip.
Oh,
personally.
Yeah, but I don't think that has anything to do with Shipt, whether they were paying one way or the other.
Well, I think it's in a general. He's frustrated with America that we're frustrated with the customer and not the company. That's basically whether it be Shipt, Uber, DoorDash. It doesn't matter. So I think it's just a discussion of, should we be mad at the company or should we be mad at the customer that, you shopped for them for an hour and a half and they gave you $0?
Well, I think we should be mad at both then, right? I mean,
you can't have your cake and eat it too. You got to pick one.
That's in this case though, you don't pick one because I think it's two different issues.
Yeah, I actually agree.
Whether or not the person tips, they should tip whether Uber or the service pays well or not, don't pay well.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
They shouldn't be connected.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, so you're saying you should, if you do an hour and a half shop, Shipt should pay you accordingly, like what it's worth, and then if the customer tips. But then they say, well, your pay is based on customers tipping. But then you can say, well, not everyone tips. So how?
Well, one way of solving that would be the guarantee, the guarantee rate, right? So
yeah,
if Shipt would say, hey, we're gonna make sure that no matter what, you make $25 on this one.
Yeah.
Right? And at that point, if the person the passenger the customer tips nothing, then Shipt will go in and do all of it.
Yeah, but the problem is that's not sustainable though, because then customers will just stop tipping.
No, but the service is just going to be more expensive.
Yeah,
right?
I guess.
I agree.
Yeah, talk into the mic.
Talking to the mic.
You were like back.
This thing here. So no,
black thing in front of your mouth.
Yes, but I'm just saying that no matter what, the two should not be connected.
No, but it does bring up conversations about that.
We've talked about 100 times before, right? It's like the whole thing about how when you're out eating on a restaurant, everybody will tip 15 to 25%. Not everybody, but most people will, right?
Yeah.
But you won't tip your driver to get you home safe, or tip the person who buys your food and make sure that they do the right thing.
I mean, some people too. I mean, Steve and I talked on Monday. Where do you think the level of like food delivery is going to go as things start opening up? Do you think, because it went from dog crap to like amazing? Like Steve was telling me some things like for like 10 weeks when everything went lockdown originally, people were getting $50, $100 cash tips like outside. I'm like, sure. We never experienced that. But I'm curious what your opinion is on food delivery as things are opening up. How far do you think it's going to go back to the crappy way, or do you think it's going to be half or a third or what?
I'd like to think it'll be somewhere between a third and two thirds, I guess. Half and 2/3.
I think it's going
to. So I think it's going to be better than half. Well, what is that?
Oh boy, here we go. Jesper and Jason doing math.
We should not have had alcohol.
It's like no math, no geography on this show. Damn it!
Right. So I don't think it's going to be the exact same as it is today.
No,
by any means. But I think people have grown to like
this service.
Yeah, and yeah, definitely. So I think it's going to fall back somewhat.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's going to fall that much back.
Yeah, according to Steve, like Denver is open. Their bars are 100% open.
But how has that affected his deliveries?
Well, I'm not sure he's doing really any gig work right now.
Okay.
He's doing work for his main job. I never did ask. I know he's not taking passengers. I know that for a fact. But He was saying there were regularly $15 to $20 surges in Denver right now. At midnight. So they're back like almost 100%. So I don't think Grand Rapids is there yet. Do you even know the limitations on our bars? Is there still a curfew?
I have no idea.
I know. A, we don't go to the bars on our personal time. B, we're not driving passengers. So we're like so freaking out of the loop if the bars
I miss it like crazy.
I know.
Oh, I just miss it.
Keith said people have changed their habits enough to make it stick. Also, restaurants are better at food delivery than they used to be pre-pandemic.
I think those are both right.
Yeah, it's totally true. I honestly though the fees are gonna have to come down for some of these companies to keep it, because some of them are only doing it just to stay afloat, like try to stay in business during this pandemic. Sure. I feel like some of them will be like, yeah, I'm not paying 35% of my. Every dollar I earn, your Uber's taking 35% or whatever the fee is.
The thing you have to remember is that person who gets the delivery doesn't have to take up a table in your dining room for half an hour.
Right. But my point is, as things open up more, they have the dining room full. They don't need somebody delivering food because they have it full.
Well, why not do both?
True.
I mean, you're still making money, right?
You are.
Provided the kitchen can keep up, of course.
Kitchen can keep up, and you have a staff person that can help pack the orders and those kind of things. Because I am worried that, like, right now, the restaurants prioritize delivery drivers because, like, well, not as much, but when they were closed, like, that's all they had was to go and delivery. Right. I'm worried as they more open up that we're going to get less and less priority. And you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean,
Yeah.
but don't you think that's going to create division as to what orders we as drivers are going to take and which we are not going to take? I mean, it's going to be, no, we don't. It takes 25 minutes to get the food from that restaurant. We're not going to go there.
Yeah, I mean, I do that now, but they keep onboarding so many drivers. You know what I mean? Like those drivers will take those stupid ones. It's just like passengers, right? I mean, Keith also brought up, also depends how many people dine in like they used to. I know a lot of people who are vaccinated haven't changed their lifestyle as much as I thought. Yeah, I mean, Jesper and I are both vaccinated. We're not going out to restaurants or not to say I wouldn't, but I'm not making a point to do it. Like,
well, my wife and I have our anniversary here next month, and we're gonna go very, very low, and we're still not comfortable going to restaurants yet.
Yeah,
I mean, and I don't know when.
Yeah, so I think it just needs a general shift to positivity. Positivity meaning not COVID positive, but just the numbers are going down, and it's just kind of a regular thing. But these mini surges that keep happening here and there just kind of delays the recovery.
I think for us, once both my children can be vaccinated, and as you said, once the numbers are more just under control.
Yeah, because Michigan, it's come down quite a bit in the last week, but it was
Michigan's ridiculous right now.
Well, better than what it was though.
Oh, sure, yeah.
We're down in the 3,000s instead of it was like 5 or 6 there last week. But all right, moving on. This is kind of funny. This is actually from Leo. Appreciate you sharing that. So the picture on the screen for your audio listeners, it's a picture of Baskin Robbins and an arrow where Baskin Robbins, where I ordered ice cream for delivery from DoorDash. Location at which my DoorDash order was dropped off was just outside the Baskin Robbins. So the text says your order was dropped off. Please refer to this photo for your dasher to provide receipt where it was left. He's like, this is not right. Why did you leave it in front of the store, not my apartment? And it's a little blocked out there, but it says the app said Baskin Robbins for the drop-off point. So I feel like this is a dick move. You clearly know that I've had this happen before.
Right.
I've had a guy, only one time actually, and we used to get that all the time with rideshare drivers because they'd be drunk and they wouldn't even know what address they put in. But I had it one time and I called him and he was 3 minutes away. So I said, I'm just going to bring it to you. But if it was far away, I'd be like, because there's no way you can get it. I mean, maybe you could get it adjusted if you went to support, just delivered it and say, but what happens if they didn't adjust it? So you drive 15 minutes down the road with the ice cream and you only got paid for.
So why isn't that built into the app?
As far as like, hey, you
check like that. I mean, it's literally 10 feet, right? Geolocation services are good enough for that kind of checks.
Well, you would feel like even as a back end in the app somehow it would cross check the references and say, hey, wait, the delivery and the pickup is the same address.
Exactly. Why is that not built in as a security feature in the app? That was my first comment. It's like, what the hell?
Well, I think that driver's a dick. Like, why would you leave it there? Call the customer, and maybe he did. I don't know.
Maybe he just saw it as an easy way of making $10.
I know, but it's so rude that someone would do that.
Oh, it totally is. Totally is.
I'd rather him take the ice cream than deliver it like that. Like, you might as well not waste it. Like, say it was delivered and then just grab it and go. I don't know.
But that's the same as everybody else who takes the photo of after dropping it off at the
Amazon
door
package.
And then
I know.
It.
I just kind of feel
what's up with that?
I don't know. I just feel like that driver was kind of a dick.
Absolutely, but. Yes, he was a dick. But my comment was, why is that not built into the app?
Yeah,
I check for that.
Well, I think as a tip, we've kind of eliminated that segment just because I hate coming up with them. But I actually think of them as I'm, just podcasting. But I think as a tip for a new driver, if that happens, just call the customer and say, hey, what's up? And then at that point, if you don't want to deliver it, then you just cancel it and say, driver not there or customer not there. I don't know what I did. I had that one time with Uber and I canceled it because the customer wasn't there because they put the wrong address in. And I just told them I wasn't going to deliver it. And they actually said it was fine. I actually got paid for it. They tipped and I got to keep the food. So,
well, ultimately, it's the customer's fault, right?
yeah, it is.
But there's a nice way of fixing it.
At least communicate with it. Right. At least not just drop it off and he gets a picture of his freaking ice cream in front of the ice cream store. But
it is kind of a dick move.
It is a dick move. We're only looking at one screenshot, so maybe they had a communication about it. But my guess is he said, "Peace out."
Yeah.
Got his $10, like Jesper said, and moved on.
So the next story here is, I'd like to say it's a continuation of the automatic vehicle saga. Uber did it a couple years ago, and now Lyfts did it. They sold their autonomous car division to Toyota.
It's actually good news
for $550 million. Yes,
that's it too. That's hilarious.
It probably wasn't worth much more, to be honest. They had done it at a much lower level than.
Because Uber sold theirs too, right?
Right.
Waymo was theirs, right?
Waymo, yeah.
Or Waymo bought it.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It was something like that. But I think part of this is also that $200 million was cash up front, right?
Okay.
And then $350 million was over the next 5 years. But then there's an interesting thing as well here. It says here the ride-hailing company says it'll see an annual savings of $100 million of non-GAAP expenses, which it claims will better position it to ultimately earn a profit. And here's the interesting part. Toyota has also agreed to use Lyft's fleet data as platform for any commercial services it eventually launches under its Woven Planet subsidiary. So that, that's a big part of where companies, and particularly gig companies, are going to be making money in the future, is going to be renting out or selling the road condition data.
Oh, okay.
That they are collecting,
right.
From all of them. I'm sure the apps are collecting a ton more data than you think that they are.
Oh, like right now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And, where are people going? What are the conditions of the road? Most cars have at least a couple of sensors built into it now that it's gathering data on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So all that stuff is going to be that data set is going to be worth a ton of money in the future. So just like Tesla today is collecting just heaps of data of all the individual lanes of the road, that kind of stuff. So is these, the gig companies are going to be selling that kind of stuff out. And so here, as part of this deal here is that Toyota is agreeing to also using the fleet data and platform for future use. So that's kind of interesting and a good news for Lyft as well.
I mean, I kind of like that they're getting out of it. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, let somebody that's their full-time job is to make autonomous cars. Right. Like even Elon, he's like got this rocket thing and this car thing. He's going to space.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, let's get a company that if you really want to do autonomous cars, you have to just do autonomous cars. Like,
sure.
I mean, I can see, I like a Toyota doing it because at least they're a car company.
Right. Well, and they have knowledge in mass production and all that
exactly.
stuff. No, yeah.
They're
absolutely.
much more apt to be able to have a car that doesn't kill people than Lyft or Uber. I mean.
Right, but I think there's some benefit in the fact that it is a non-connected, or there used to be at least companies who wasn't specifically connected to any of the big three.
True.
Just to at least keep some of that initial R&D and that kind of stuff on a more non-connected basis.
Well, I feel like you're right. The big three probably have the cash to get it through, but yeah, being the big three can also slow things down and be a little clunky.
Well, but here's the other side of it. Do you really think the big three have any interest in creating self-driving cars?
That's a good question, because people like to drive. Why are they going to make a car that people can't drive? I mean, I think they eventually will, but why is Tesla doing it then? Like, what's his deal on it? Just because he likes it and he has a lot of money and he's smart?
Well, I think there always needs to be an industry leader in these things, right? So I think he's driving the force. He likes to drive this force and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Can you just focus on that? Like he's doing the underground subway and like.
But he's not though. I mean,
is he done with that?
He's out of those. He sold that to Virgin.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Virgin and took that one over, and he's really not connected much in the space race either. I mean, it's still his name on.
Well, I was gonna say every other day I see a rocket launch come up and come down, and some nerds yelling about it.
Right, but it's still kind of. I mean, and he's still talking about it. Yes.
If you had the money, would you buy a Tesla right now?
I have Tesla, so yeah.
No,
buy a Tesla. No. Well, a car.
A car. Would you buy? I'm really thinking about it.
If I had the money and yes, and I wasn't in debt, yeah, I would buy them. I would buy a Tesla. Yes.
Yeah, because you can get a basic Tesla for like $35,000.
Right.
And I don't think it's that bad.
I think ultimately one of the things that you're gonna see, at least the hope with self-driving vehicles, is less accidents, right? Which would mean less new cars being sold, which then you would think to say that the big three probably don't have a lot of interest in producing self-driving cars because that will produce less accidents, at least when there is enough on the road for it to matter.
Everyone freaks out when there's an accident, but they're like, well, this asshole wasn't in the driver's seat. Like there was one just recently, like one was in the back seat and one was in the passenger seat. Literally, no one was in the driver's seat. It went off the road, crashed, and burst into flames. They both died, unfortunately. But you're like, yeah, it's self-driving, but you still have to be ready just in case the car leaves the road. I mean, can you imagine getting so comfortable with a self-driving car in the winter in Michigan and not being in the driver's seat and just letting it do its thing? Oh, hell no. With the icy roads and everything,
see, the thing is, though, Jason, if it was 99% self-driving cars and the system would drive itself, it would be way safer if you remove the human factor altogether.
I agree, but
I mean, obviously, we're not there yet at all.
No,
right? But envision that. What is that movie came out 10, 12 years ago with Tom Cruise?
Minority Report.
Thank you, Minority Report.
Yeah.
Right. It's that we're going towards, right? It's the highways where these cars are just all driving crazy because it's computers controlling them and their reflexes is fast enough for that.
It's crazy to think about. I don't think we'll see it in our lifetime.
I think we will, but it'll be further down the road. Absolutely. It'll be another 10, 15 years.
I feel it's going to be longer than that, especially in Michigan when you got the snow and you can't see the lanes. Freaking blizzard driving down freaking M6 with the wind coming across at 80 miles an hour, and there's no way a Tesla's going to be able to handle that.
With the sensors, you don't need to see the lanes.
Yeah, that's true. Just look for other cars.
The computers handle it all for you.
Jamie, she said, "Screw self-driving cars. Give me a flying car." I feel like that might be safer at this point.
You can buy a flying car, Jamie. They're out there.
Yeah, not for $35,000 like a Tesla.
No, and they actually require you to have a pilot's license.
That makes sense. Sense. All right. So this is kind of interesting. It's kind of funny Jamie chimed in because she's been a big help with the PPP. But so on the screen here is a GoFundMe for Lakeisha Golden. Help me pay back the PPP loan. I don't know. She said the feds are all funds are gladly appreciated and will use to pay off all the fees owed to the government. Thanks for your support. But is this? I don't know if this is from the original PPP loan that she's freaking out about, but she's actually I grabbed this last night, so she's actually made $3,000.
Right.
I mean, what?
But
I'm very confused.
But I thought the whole idea for the PPP is you didn't have to pay it back. It was going to be forgiven.
And even if you did, it's a 1% loan.
Unless you don't follow the rules.
Yeah, unless you don't follow. Yeah, maybe she spent it on.
I mean, it's approved by the SBA, right? Which means she must have at least followed the rules up front to get approved by the SBA. And so somewhere along the way, she didn't do what she was supposed to do.
Well, I kind of feel like she didn't follow the unforgiven part and spend it all. And now they're like, oh, by the way, you owe us, $300 a month for the next whatever.
At 1%.
At 1%. But it's still you got to take away the 1% because I don't, I probably should have read the terms a little bit better, but I just assume ours is going to get forgiven. But I don't know. It's not like it's an 8-year loan or anything, right? It's like a 3 or 4 year loan. So if you got $20,000, you got to pay 20 grand off in 3 years. I mean, you're making $1,000 payment. I mean, it's
not $1,000 payment.
Well, I mean, it's not gonna be cheap. What's 20,000 divided by 36 months? Go math.
Go math. Well, I mean, it's not gonna be $3,000 either.
No, but my point is like whatever I don't remember what the terms were, how you had to pay it back. But my point is, I don't know what she did, or she must have broke the rules. But
she broke the rules,
and it's the feds. They're not gonna say you're excused.
It's like $600 a month.
$600? Did you do the math?
Yeah,
but that's still a lot for a loan. That
$550 on interest.
Oh, Keith, $555. He says.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still a lot. I mean.
Well, it is, but it's a lot less than if she would have bought it in the bank.
Well, she probably bought some stupid shit with it, and then she's realizing now she has to pay $555 a month for the next 3 years to pay it off and can't afford it.
Well, maybe she should have read the fine print.
Well, maybe she should have, and maybe I should have read the fine print to find out what my terms are. I mean, I know it's 1%, but I don't know the length of it. So, anyways, speaking of PPP. Oh, and if Mark was on here, I did change the date to May 31st, you prick. Wampley's going to listen back to their ads. Like I've ripped on them because of their name. Not ripped on them. It's like Wampley. It's such a weird name, but Wampley has been great. They are basically a company that's third party that helps you fast track through the PPP loan. My guess is that money is almost gone. I have not got an update email for them in about a week.
I saw a note today online that there's still money left.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it ends May 31st, the program end, but once the funds are gone, they're gone. So you could get just the first, right, and not get the second if they ran out of money, or is it like you have to get both?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, it's all based on how much. I mean, you get approved for the full amount up front.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I guess if they didn't have the money for all of it, they probably wouldn't approve you for the first one.
Probably not.
But yeah, if you go to wampley.com/gig economy podcast or gig economy, I can't remember. It's in the description.
I think they both work. Yep.
Okay. You can sign up. It helps us too. They've been a great sponsor, and I think this is the last show for them. So.
And just to be clear, we love Wampley.
Of course we do. Just the name is just... I have this little fitness band too. It's like kind of like an Apple Watch, but it's not a watch. It's called Whoop. Like, what a name, Whoop. It's just some of the names that they come up with things like Wampley, Whoop. But anyways, they've been great. We appreciate them supporting the Gig Economy podcast. Go sign up now, damn it, or you're going to miss out on your money. And let us know if you have any questions or message Jamie Lynn Brooks. Thanks.
Message Jamie Lynn Brooks. That's not very nice.
Well, she knows what she's talking about. She's smart.
So this next one here I thought was an interesting. I actually added it, and it was kind of a new thing, providing rider feedback, and I thought that was interesting. When you rate a rider 3 stars or lower, we'll now share feedback with the rider and deactivate those who repeatedly violate our guidelines. We care about your experience and want you to feel safe and supported on and off the road.
This is really cool to see. If it's legit.
Yeah. That's the interesting part. Now, I didn't see whether it was Uber or Lyft.
This is Lyft.
Wait, what makes you say that?
Oh, it's 100% Lyft screen.
Okay. Apparently, it's been too long since I've been
apparently on Lyft. It is, because that is definitely Lyft.
Okay, so this is Lyft.
Yeah, I really, I'm glad that they did that. I'm wondering if I don't know if they're actually going to do that. Like if I say this person's BO smelled really bad, are they going to literally pass on the exact verbiage of that? Or are they going to generalize?
Maybe take a shower?
Well, no, just are they going to generalize and say, yeah, the driver felt that maybe the hygiene may have been an issue or something like that. I don't know.
Speaking of that, have you ever had a passenger that there was somebody like you would rate 3 stars for this one?
Yes.
Tell the story.
Well, no, I mean, there's been a lot of them. I mean, if they're disrespectful.
But any like for body odor or anything like that really just sticks to your mind?
Yeah, I mean, the body odor thing is such a... I try to take each individual... Thanks, Shannon. I try to take each individual person's, when they have a body odor issue, into consideration. Like...
Right.
If you're down on your luck, I get it. But if you're like, I don't know, it's like, why do you smell like this? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you have decent clothes on. Like, why do you smell like, I don't know. I mean, I can't say that I regularly rate people poor for body odor, but I have. If it's been so bad, like I can't take this person again. Like I just can't do it. And when you start driving regular shifts, at least when I did in the winter, I was driving a lot of the same people in the morning.
Sure.
So if it was bad enough, I'm just like, sorry. I mean, I don't think it's as bad as like rating somebody because they live in the bad neighborhood that we talked about the last show.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm so
still a big move for doing that.
What, the body odor or
the bad neighborhood?
Oh, that is a complete dick move. I don't know. I got such a sensitive nose. Body odor really bothers me. It's not that hard to clean yourself. So, but anyways,
it is not.
But I'm glad Lyft is doing this. I wish Uber would. But
more importantly, is it really true, or are they just saying it?
See, that's the thing. It's he said, she said for days. And it does bring up a good point about Uber talking about wanting to register the dash cams and stuff. I think we're going to see more of that. I think they're going to be like, we're going to need to have some documentation, whether, I don't know.
So are we going to need smell-o-vision?
Oh, gosh. I don't think so. Okay, this next one, I guess we could have led with this, but this is a video of a driver getting choked. It's pretty long. I'll bump through it here and there, but there are some glaring issues from obviously the passenger, but even the driver too, and see if you can pick up on that. But yeah, it was pretty bad. So
You were good. Die. You were good. Die. You were good.
you only hear it in one ear.
Hey, do you have the cops on the way? Ask them. No, don't.
So she's choking him. He's just sitting there not defending himself.
Well, I think he's probably not trying to make. He's trying not to make the situation worse.
But I mean, he's choked. I mean, listen to him. Like, why wouldn't you just peel it off and get out? Okay, now he's starting to.
No!
I don't want to get out and have her run.
I don't want to get out and have her run.
You will die. You will die.
I can't breathe.
I
can't breathe.
And why is no one helping? Again, we've talked about this, Jesper. They're videotaping. Like,
Right.
I would have opened that back door. I would have grabbed that bitch by the hair and pulled her ass out. I just would have.
Well, and
And he should be getting out too. He had a couple of opportunities to get
Right.
out.
I'm just your Uber driver. I'm just your Uber driver.
Stop! Let go of him.
See, no one's helping. They're just standing there.
You're gonna go to jail. I don't care.
You-
Why are you strangling this man? He's done nothing. My daughter! No! Get her to let go.
my
I just don't
daughter.
want to put my hands on her.
No!
I just don't want to put my hands on her. Please stop.
She bites him.
Please stop.
Yeah, that comes now.
Nothing.
But see, he says, I don't want to put my hands on her.
Yeah, I know he
You were
doesn't,
asleep
but
the entire car ride, woke up and started screaming and
You
punching me.
oh, so she passed out.
But see, I think there's mental issues with her.
Dude,
No.
no, please stop.
Fighting him.
Stop.
That's it. I feel like it's more than alcohol, but
Oh no, I don't think it's alcohol. I think
You got
she
the
had.
are they got the cops on the way?
oh, Jamie says there's an interview said he was raised to never hurt a woman. I don't give a shit.
Just leave.
I would have busted her
It's fine, it's
a
fine,
long
it's
time
fine,
ago.
It's fine. I don't want.
Fighting him.
He said it's fine, and now she's biting him.
I can't get him out. I know.
Ma'am, stop biting him.
All right, now he's like.
I'm sorry.
So now he gets out.
Well,
We need the cops here like now.
Oh my God.
I just don't understand why he just let her abuse him
Lock
like
your
that.
door.
well, I mean, obviously he said he's been raised to never hurt a woman, and I guess that's.
Hey, this is what I say: equal rights. Women want equal rights. If you're gonna hit me, I'm gonna hit you back.
True, and there's definitely some sense and truth to that.
It's tongue in cheek, but
I think it's
anybody.
situational, though, right? I mean, here's the thing. So she's been fine all the way through the rides, and she's been sleeping.
Well, she passed out.
Right.
From drinking.
But do you know it was from drinking, though?
I just only can go off what the title said. It said drunk woman chokes driver, so I assume she was intoxicated. But you're right. I guess we don't know for 100% fact. But.
I mean, maybe it was a mental issue. She had some kind of attack. I'm not trying to say what she did was right by any means, right? But we don't know what happened.
Yeah, but the point is let's look. We can only. I always say this: you can only make an opinion on what you can see.
Sure.
You don't know what happened before. You don't know what happened after.
Correct.
But in that situation, that driver should have got out of there. I am not saying strike her, but he had every opportunity.
Right.
He could overpower her. I mean, you could see that, but it's almost like he didn't want to overpower her to get out.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of respect for the fact that he got the car out of the traffic.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought that was
fine.
That was interesting, you know.
Yeah, I was totally fine with that. I just don't know why he didn't. And then, yet we've brought this up several times, just the standby. Like, okay, she's videotaping, good. What about those guys on the other side? Like, open the door.
Several big guys there.
Big guys.
I mean,
like, and not you don't even have to hurt her. Just take her out of the car.
Just hold her back.
And I would get her out of the car. Right. And then that's it. I wouldn't hold her there. If she wanted to run away, I'd be like, fine, run away. You're done.
At least situation is handled.
Yeah, at least you're out of this guy's car and no one else is going to get hurt. But yeah, that was intense. I did really feel bad for that guy. But
oh, yeah.
Thanks, Tim.
That was crazy.
Yeah. It kind of stressed me out, to be honest with you, with all that screaming.
So this next one here is a...
I think it's photoshopped, but it's still kind of funny.
Yeah. So it doesn't actually say whether it's Uber or Lyft or whatever
it's
but he
Dasher.
Hey D, of course, this is your Dasher. Yep. Okay. Yep. So it's a text stream from the Dasher, and he says, "Hey D, this is your Dasher. There's a long line at McDonald's, so I went to get you something from Burger King." And she wrote, "What the fuck?" Well, WTF? I don't want no damn Burger King. Be grateful before I take a bite out of this little ass burger.
So it is Photoshop because this is iOS messaging and Dasher doesn't use that. But I think it's hilarious. These are the things that I want to say to customers. Like, I'm not waiting in this line, and I don't know. It was just kind of funny.
McDonald's on Michigan.
Oh gosh, yeah. So this one is kind of a needy customer. This is through Shipped. From Reddit, drop this quickness, no thank you. This says failure to communicate, failure to offer substitutions for items not in stock, and failure to follow delivery instructions will result in a bad review and a low or no tip. Delivery instructions: call me when you arrive in an apartment. I may not hear you knock. Building E upstairs. All those things are red flags of like upstairs. If you don't follow instructions exactly, like. Oh, man, I remember seeing these on Shipped, and I'm like, who would even take that? Even with a promo, like if there was a $20 promo on that, I probably still wouldn't take it. I mean, there's plenty of money to go around with other orders. There's no reason why I need to deal with this crazy person, but I don't know. But, yeah, just saying right in there is like a low or no tip. Right away, that's a red flag. Like, do you really even want to mess with this lady? Because a lot of times there's things you can't help. You know, if they don't have the food, they don't have the food.
Right.
Or she's just been burned so many times by people not doing the right substitutions. I don't know. But
again, the other side of that is just communicate.
Yes. But sometimes customers are dicks.
But so sometimes are drivers. Sorry, but they are.
Yeah, they are.
There's lots of drivers who shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, and I think with the pandemic, oh my gosh, can you imagine if you're used to like the level of ship shopping before pandemic, how it was really great. I'm not saying the people that weren't already great weren't great during the pandemic,
right?
But there were so many new shoppers because they were hiring like crazy. The amount of bad service that you would get. I mean, even Pete and I think even Sam had talked about just even because they know the business, like they know how it should work, and they were getting terrible service, like not like dropping it off, not telling them that they're there, those kind of things. So,
yep.
Do right by your customers, people. Come on.
And they're going to do right by you.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so this next one here is an interesting article, and it talks about how we mentioned last year that Grubhub got, I think that was last year, anyways, a while back. Grubhub got bought by Just Eat.
It's a UK company, right?
Just Eat Takeaway is what it's called. Yes. And so this one here says that Grubhub's new owner offers a glimpse of a potential U.S. strategy. And that's kind of interesting because the whole point of this article goes into my page won't scroll. Hang on one second. It says here, Just Eat Takeaway is prioritizing lower fees and fully employed drivers in its European market as it focuses on growing share. And the point here is fully employed drivers.
Yeah.
Just Eat Takeaway on Wednesday laid out its plan to gain market share by expanding its delivery network, investing in customer acquisition, and lowering fees across its 23 global markets, which will soon include the U.S. Amsterdam-based delivery company is in the process of acquiring Grubhub in a $7.3 billion transaction. So when we talked about it last, it had been approved. The process is still on the way, that kind of stuff. Set to be completed in the first half of this year, and the strategy detailed on JET's 2020 earnings call with investors provides a glimpse on how it might approach the new market, namely growth at all costs. But the big thing here for drivers is that one of our pillars of our delivery strategy is to be the price leader in our industry, meaning offering lower delivery fees across our markets compared to the competition, including free delivery. But the big thing here is that these drivers are going to be employees. Yeah. It's not going to be gig economy as we're used to it. They'll have sick pay. They'll have, all the benefits of being a full-time employee.
Steve and I talked about London. He's got a contact in there, and they've become classified as workers, but not employees. And he said his contact there is randomly getting like $700 miscellaneous deposits, $150, and he calls Uber and asks what they are, and they're like, "Oh, that's for your sick pay. That's for your vacation pay." But there's really no rhyme or reason. He'll just get like this giant ass deposit, and it says miscellaneous on it. So there's something it's in London. It's something they got approved that I don't know. It's not quite the same as like the AB5, but it is kind of.
But I bet that what they're doing is they average out, so you're going to get paid over the course of the year, you're going to get paid for 10 sick days. Yeah. We're going to deposit it like this.
Yeah, and he still gets his, he's still flexible, though. He doesn't have to work a certain amount, or so he can just sign on when he wants, and he still gets all the sick pay and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, but it sounds like that those services in Europe are going to be that way. You're going to be an employee.
Right. So it doesn't mention anything about when you're going to be working or whether you're going to have that flexibility still. Right. But it basically says that the business is called Scooper. Drivers are considered full-time employees. They're paid a set hourly wage and receive benefits such as paid sick days, holiday pay, and electric bikes for doing deliveries in urban markets, etc., etc. So.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Some of that stuff could come here. I don't know. I don't like it. I like being independent. I don't want to be an employee. I already have a job like that.
Right. But I think no matter what, there's a shift in how people work.
Yes.
And it'll be interesting to see the next 5 years on how that plays out.
Yeah.
And I think somewhere along this, I think there is a flexible model where we can still be full-time employees, but we have the flexibility of being gig-time workers.
Yeah, I truly believe you're right. I think there's going to be a hybrid at some point down the road. But I mean, it's like everyone wanted the gig economy. Now everyone's trying to force it back into regular employment. I'm like, no, can we have a happy medium? I don't know. I'd be willing to think about it and talk about it, but I'm not ready to just be like, because I like that I can just stop doing it from March to October without penalty. No one deactivates me. No one says, I mean, they bug you to get on the app, but no one's like, you can't do this anymore, and I want to keep it that way.
Right.
I'm a
Yeah.
big baby.
Well, there's flexibility in knowing that, right? I mean, you can do whatever we want.
Yeah, exactly. And I love the winter flexibility when I'm doing gig work. My wife loves it too because I can take the kids all their dumb appointments, and she doesn't have to take time off for work. And there's a real advantage to gig work. It really wets my whistle, and it makes me think that I want to do it, but then I also feel like I'm running my car into the ground too.
Well, and when it's time to be done with gig work, you're about ready to be done with gig work, so it works for you.
Yeah,
right? You need that break.
I love it. I love the being able to switch it on and off.
Right.
It's always different every year with when I go back to gig work. Things have always changed just a little bit.
And actually, we should at some point have a show talking about burnout. Job burnout and job change and that kind of stuff. Because gig work is brilliant for that, right?
Yeah.
For being able to, you can just pick and do whatever you want to do today.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, there's so many gigs out there. Like I bet there's 15 or 20 apps that we've never even talked about that you could probably do.
I saw there's several apps coming to, well, I guess the American market or whatever is here in several level about the whole handyman services.
Yeah.
I mean, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I saw somebody had, but that was a new one I saw. What was that called? Anyways, they had right on the front. They were teaming up with IKEA and was
really?
Yeah, and was being used as IKEA to put together furniture.
Well, I think the IKEA, and they have it doing local deliveries from IKEA. Like, I'm sure they have a delivery service for bigger stuff. Don't quote me. I've been to IKEA a bunch of times, but there's not run around Grand Rapids, so I don't know.
You can order it and have it delivered here.
Oh, you can?
But that's just freight service, right?
It'd be interesting to do it the Amazon way, like you order it that day and a driver, just the independent contractor, goes and picks it up, and then they'll put it together for you, and then you're happy.
Well, particularly, I would be happy if I didn't have to deal with all the stupid cardboard and stuff, and I just have that furniture done.
You don't want to recycle it or burn it. You want the
half the battle is trying to figure out what to do with such a big box.
Give it to your kids. My kids are over the moon.
Trust me, I have enough junk in my house.
I know.
I don't need more junk, but it's more about. I mean, lately we can just throw it in the burn barrel and it burns, so that's fine. But some of those big boxes, breaking them down and putting it in the recycle. That's
a hard life, isn't it? Buying stuff and having to put it together.
Tough, yeah.
Well, speaking of money, we'd love you to support us on Patreon. If you go to patreon.com, search the Gig Economy Podcast, extra podcasts a month, exclusive piece of merch, and then before show banter, which is just Jesper and I talking shit about whatever. You never know. Just kind of life in general. Sometimes it gets funny. Sometimes it's not funny, but again, patreon.com, search the Gig Economy Podcast, and we would love for you to support us. You get 2 podcasts coming this month, so May. So we are working just a little behind the schedule. This has been a crazy week,
and merch and all the fun stuff.
Yep. So go, like I said, we'd really love you to support us. We'd love to get a new one on. We haven't had one in a while. It really just kind of helps us pay for all this studio crap. And it might get me a t-shirt. And we know that's what we want. So patreon.com, Gig Economy Podcast.
Oh, for the love of somebody buy him a t-shirt.
For the love of Pete. We got a couple of more to bang through here, and then we're getting there. Uber, let's talk about that. That's basically the Uber stimulus package that are trying to fund drivers to get back on the road. And
do you have a slide for that one?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm just reading the article. It's, Steve and I talked about this from Rideshare Rodeo quite a bit. It just pisses me off that they have all this money to get new drivers or old drivers back on the road, but why not pay us more? You know what I mean? And I get it's supply and demand now, but he was talking, there was someplace, was it Phoenix? They were offering $6,000 for 105 rides. Guaranteed for 105 rides, $6,000.
Right.
I'm like, what the hell? Like, they're giving away, and that was Lyft, that wasn't Uber, but Lyft's doing the same thing. But I don't know. How do you feel about them spending all this money and not just giving us how about bump everyone's rate up a little bit?
I mean, it's their company; they can do what they want, right?
Well, no shit.
But I mean, I think that the bigger question is, if they just gave everybody a rate, would they actually get more people on the road?
True, I get it. I do get it. They have to spend a little bit on it, but what about those drivers that have been on the road and haven't stopped driving?
Well, absolutely, yes, and it would be nice if they would give them a little bit of an attaboy, right? That would be nice.
Yeah, because it's like when you have your cable company and they don't give you the promos, they only give it for the new customers, and you're like, hey, I've been a customer for 5 years. How about give me a little kickback?
Well, I think it was Jamie Linda posted a link today to the $1,000, which is a guarantee.
Right.
So it's the $1,000 guarantee for Uber that I promptly signed up for, and I'm sure I won't do, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But I think it was 105 rides, and then you get $1,000.
Yeah, somebody did the math. It's like $10 a ride.
Right, but it's a guarantee. So if you end up not getting it, they're just gonna round up and get that money out of it. So
yeah,
but that's still, I think, interesting, and
I'm waiting for the 3 rides for $100 because I'm going to do that for 3 rides and $100. I'm like,
I mean, I'm still not ready to drive passengers.
I'm not either, but for $100, I mean, you can. I mean,
you take 3 McDonald's orders for $100.
No, it's not Uber Eats. It's passengers. You can't take food deliveries for that.
Well, you can take food deliveries for the $1,000 guarantee.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, it's passengers out delivery.
Oh, Well,
Jamie Lynn, I think you need to post that link one more time. So Jason,
I didn't look in my app. They've been messaging me today. Is that how you knew about it?
No, Jamie posted a link on Facebook, and you had to click on that one. And then once you click on that and sign in, then you get the offer.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, I noticed Uber sent me 2 notifications. They like, hey, just checking in. You should sign in and see what's up. So I don't know it was related with that, but. Jamie said it had gotten the 100 for 3 rides twice. Oh,
but Jamie, was that deliveries or just passengers?
I don't know. I feel like because I was doing Uber up until I went back to work. I was doing Uber Eats every day. So I mean, it's been maybe like 5 weeks since I did an Uber Eats or did any gig work. So I don't know if it's Uber Eats. I for sure would do it. I would have that done by 8:00 in the morning.
But as I said, I mean, I don't know quite sure when I'll be going out again, but sometime within the next week or so, I'm sure I'll be going out.
Yeah, I really would like you to go out just so you can feel the kind of pain.
No, I know.
Oh, she says I don't do delivery, so it was people, huh? Well, I will definitely do it if it's food delivery. Like again, I can have that done in like an hour. She said 3 rides, $102 for only ride share. Yeah, I think it must be market specific, but
right.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Well, Uber's got lots of money, so. So you got this one?
I do. So this is a Reddit. Driver made me cash app him the amount I paid on the app. So I was taking a Lyft home from work since I currently don't have a car as I got into an accident. My job is 35 minutes away from my house.
Ooh.
The driver had me cash app him the amount I paid on Lyft, and he wouldn't confirm until I sent the money. I canceled the ride on the app and I paid him. He said that it's because of the fact that it's further out, that there's further out there, so he wouldn't get that much for the ride. But then again, the full amount I paid is also supposed to go to Lyft. I know it was stupid of me, but I had to get home, so I didn't put up a fight. Yes, I had to pay a $5 cancellation fee. I was encouraged to report the situation to Lyft. That's clearly unprofessional, and I don't know the rules with Lyft, but I assume what he did wasn't allowed. I probably should have canceled and had another driver come get me, but I just need to get home soon. What should I do if this happens in the future, and is there anything else I should be aware of? Also, I wasn't sure what flare this go under.
Yeah, it's a Reddit thing.
So, anyways, obviously, anybody who's driven a little bit knows the answer to this question. Yes, it's absolutely against terms and conditions. And no, you should never do this.
Well, the customer made it sound like the driver made her do it. Like, how about you just cancel and get another driver?
Right.
Like,
but she said that, she made it sound like it was definitely out there, and the chance of her getting another ride
Was slim to none.
Yeah, and so she just really needed to get home. So he was using that,
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think I would have ever done that.
I may have said, hey, would you mind tipping me a little bit more on the app because I had to drive out here, or I'm the only driver? Like, I've done that before.
Right. Encourage the tip.
Yeah, and of course they can say no, and that's fine. But then at least you still run it on the app, so you're covered under insurance. Everything's on the up and up, and if they decide not to tip, then that's the karma that they have to deal with.
And I think that's the thing that the riders need to understand too, right? If they do this, there's no insurance.
Yeah, people don't think about that. Well, we were driving before we even had insurance, but
when you look at it from this though, so it's the riders. What happens to the rider if there's an accident?
I feel
Who
like
pays that?
I feel like they're just going to sue Lyft, and they're going to get paid, even without insurance.
And that's probably true.
It probably will be. Some attorney will be able to say, yeah, this driver manipulated my client to cancel the Lyft, and you hired him because he's a Lyft employee or a Lyft 1099 worker, so you're paying out. But
Lyft could choose to say, screw you.
Yeah, well,
he wasn't on the app. He did this. We can prove that he was in the wrong.
And they would do that, but then it would go to a jury trial, and then everyone would be pissed.
Right.
All right.
That's true.
This next one, it's just, let's see. Deliveries on UberX with no receipt. Have any of you had a delivery when no one showed up for the package? What do you do? Today I did an UberX ride with the pack. Simply gave me an iPhone to deliver to his daughter. The ride was 3 miles and an $18 surge for a total of $23. No brainer. I've done this kind of thing dozens of times, and recipient usually comes to my car to get the package. No one showed up today, even after I texted and called the account owner. I waited like 7 minutes. It was pretty generous. So I completed the ride and threw the phone in my trunk. Still no word from Uber support. No call from PAX. My first thought is to treat it like a lost item and ask for $20 cash before turning over the phone. So, yeah, I mean, that's weird that they never called back. I mean, I don't know how after he posted this, it could have been 5 minutes later they called him back. But I don't know. Have you ever done an UberX delivery? So basically someone gives you something to deliver, like a car part or anything. I've never done it. I thought there was a pair of keys once. Okay. Wasn't there somebody in our group that went into somebody's house to get keys?
Chris went in and got a dog.
Chris Posthumus?
Yeah, I think he got a dog through a garage door.
Like he went back to let the dog out or something. I don't know how that popped into my head, I remember him going, what the hell are you doing?
But Chris would do it too. I mean, he don't care.
Well, $50 is $50. I mean, I don't know if it was $50, but no, I've never done a delivery for like someone handing me a random thing. But I mean, I think all you do is just wait until the customer calls, and I don't know. I mean, what sucks is like you can't sell the phone, so it's not like
No, you can't.
You can. I mean, it's gonna come up as stolen. But why hasn't the customer called it back? I mean, the daughter's probably freaking out. Did everyone die in this situation? The daughter and the dad are dead, and that's why no one's asking for the phone. It's very strange.
It's too strange.
Strange. But yeah, I guess be cautious when you're delivering things other than people, like not weed or drugs.
There you go.
This one's kind of funny. Grubhub is the worst with this.
So I will read it, but I'm not sure I fully understood.
You can't figure it out?
No. Okay. So I'll read it though. So maybe you can tell me.
All right.
So am I missing something, or does this not make any sense? 2 ways earn up to $150 bonus. Cash in extra earnings this weekend. You can qualify for bonus earnings when you complete deliveries between 5 p.m. and 11 p.m. any day this weekend, starting today, 4/23 through Sunday, 4/25. We're giving you 2 ways to earn extra cash. 1, maintain a 90% or over acceptance rate and earn a $12 bonus for every 5 deliveries, or maintain a 50% to 89% acceptance rate and earn a $17 bonus for every 5. Okay, I got
Okay, you see it now?
So basically, if you drive worse, if you have a worse,
if you're more picky, we'll give you. I think they forgot they added an extra one. It was probably $7 for each bonus, but Grubhub is the worst with that. They've posted. We've talked about it several times. Like you can earn an extra $0. It says there. I'm like, who's typing these numbers into this before they send the text out?
Right.
But I just thought that was funny.
That was funny, and now that I read it out loud,
yeah, I was wondering if you were gonna. I'll be honest with you. When I saw it on Reddit, I had to read it a couple times too to figure it out. Until I read the comments. Actually, I didn't even figure it out. I just went right to the comments. So. Freaking dumbass.
Well, you have always been smart.
Yeah, right. And then just this last thing, just kind of a ship shopper. The guy did 141 items. The total was $51.
No, $513.
Thank you. The total was, I'm reading like small text. The total was $513, and the dude lives in a mansion, but only to $20. Yeah, or she. Yeah, she'll never see me again. Ratings didn't drop. I know the order was near perfect. So I don't know. Well, like,
I mean, we know for a fact that people living in mansions generally don't tip very well,
I actually feel like $20. I mean, yeah, that's a big order, but I don't know. Like $20 doesn't seem too bad to me.
No. Well, and my wife, she's often said that this whole tipping on a percentage doesn't make sense all the time.
No, it doesn't. You're exactly right. You're not going to tip 20% on $500.
No, you're not.
I mean,
you're not going to get $100 tip.
Well, and that's why I never understood with restaurant eating why it's 20% either. Like, shouldn't it be like, I don't know. Because would you tip 20% if you took your family out and it was a $500 bill at a restaurant? You would, right?
Probably yes.
Yeah. See, so what's the difference?
No, I don't know.
Well, you brought it up. You said
no, but yeah, you're correct.
I'm just actually trying to figure it out. Like, why wouldn't you tip 20% on a $500 Meyer order? I guess I don't understand the difference.
No, and I don't either.
But
I it would be difficult for me to pay that $100 extra.
Well, I totally agree, because if I would have looked at the app and I saw the tip was going to be $100, I'd be like, I ain't paying $100 for that. You know what I mean? But it's like, it's no different than, I mean, I've never spent $500 at a restaurant, but you know, if I ever could, I'd be blessed. But my point is, I think I would do it at a restaurant but what does it matter? Like, if your family was there and dropped $500, it just means the food is really expensive. What has the server done above and beyond if you spent $100 at Red Robin and you got the same food? So what has the server done? The server's done nothing different. It's just the cost of the food. So it just seems
right.
Now, with a big table where she or he is running around helping, you know, you have a table of 20, that's different if the bill comes up to $500. Then you've worked your ass off. You've been running around this table, getting everyone drinks and everything like that. So I don't know. I've seen it too, where Megan's done shipped and she's like, oh my God, 20%'s like a $25 tip. And I'm like, that seems really high. I'm like, you do what you want. And then I walk away.
You do what you want.
You do what you want. I don't know.
That's nice of you.
Yeah, right. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening to the Gig Economy podcast. We really appreciate it. Looking forward to getting those interviews out. If you want those interviews first and to get signed up for some of the stuff, just go to Gig Economy. No, go to patreon.com and search the Gig Economy podcast. I think we're shooting to get Leo from Detroit on next month. And I think Larry, I think he went to bed early, but we'd like to get Larry on too, just to bring in another level. I know he's been doing a lot of ride share. Well, not so much now, but studying for that test. But what does Steve say? Because $100 tip to a server takes into account table time and server's time. That makes a good point. Remember, they don't make anything paycheck-wise. My order should not be the same. Yeah, that's true, because you're basically renting space at that table. Right. So, yeah, because I would always, like, if I would go in with my buddy and we would just have a Coke, like when we were younger, even because I've worked in restaurants my whole life, even as a younger kid, I would tip more, because I took that table. So that does make a good point.
Right, but I think it brings down to the fact that the system is broken. Like,
Yeah.
because they shouldn't be paid $3.50 an hour, and then for tipping.
Yeah. I mean, would you like to get rid of the whole tipping system?
The tipping system is non-existing in Denmark. Works just fine.
Yeah, I think everyone doesn't want to do it because they're worried that the service level is going to go down. But if you're paying, like, my boss pays me really well for my lawn care job. I take really good care of my customers. I take really good care of my equipment. I'm constantly doing the right thing. Not that I wouldn't anyways. I got a good work ethic. But honestly, if I was making $10 an hour or whatever, $20 an hour, what are you going to, you know what I mean? You would hope that if you're making more money per hour, but yeah, I'd be curious. So there's no tipping in Denmark at all, huh?
No. I mean, you can if you want to.
So you just walk in the
But
rest?
it's not expected.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because people working at the restaurants get,
A regular wage.
paid money, yeah.
Yeah, livable wage. Yeah, that is interesting. What if we went to tipping at McDonald's? So those McDonald's workers are only getting paid $2.50 an hour, and then to see it like reverse it, that would be a shit show.
Yes.
I mean, they want 15 an hour, but we won't get into that. But anyways, Steve, Jamie, thanks so much for commenting. Really appreciate it. I don't know where all our other friends are, jerks. It was a little quiet in here tonight.
There's not many on tonight.
No.
No.
I don't know where Sam is, and Larry has to get up early, so we'll let it go.
Anyways, thank you so much, guys.
Yep. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Stay
Bye-bye.
safe.